From Anshe Sfard Beth El Emeth Congregation, it's time to take 10 Minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.
Welcome to our discussion of Shofar Bloopers. What happens when things go wrong on Rosh Hashanah blowing the shofar? First, let's talk about the way it's supposed to be. So we have the tkiyah. We have the shvarim. We have the truah. At the end, another tkiyah. Now the first blooper is regarding the tkiyah. So if the tkiyah, the simple sound at the beginning, is too short, you're in trouble. So let's say you're blowing shvarim and truah. Before that, you want to have a tkiyah, or afterwards, you want to have a tkiyah. So it should be at least 5 seconds. So if you just blew a short tkiyah, that's not a tkiyah. That's blooper number 1. Now let's talk about the shvarim. Shvarim is supposed to sound like this. Something like that. 3 short sounds, but not as short as this. Not that short. And not that long either. Here's the second big blooper, where the shvarim are too long. Could be too long. If each one reaches about 2.5, 3 seconds, instead of having 1 shvarim, you landed out having 3 tkiyahs. Then the truah. It's hard to mess up on the truah. We'll talk about some possibilities later, but they shouldn't be too long. It shouldn't be obviously, it should be much quicker, like this. Now, exactly how to count the sound. There's supposed to be 9 sounds. If there were some more than 9 sounds, shouldn't be a big problem. What if you had too many shvarim? Let's say you had 4 by mistake. Would that be a problem? Most authorities say it's not a problem. You're still okay. Now for another problem. Sometimes you get a false start. So let's say your tkiyah went very nicely. 5 seconds. But then you had a sound like this. You were supposed to be blowing the shvarim truah, but you got mixed up and you said the following. Oops, what did I do? What have I done? I was supposed to blow the shvarim. I started to blow a truah. You have to start all over again because you're supposed to blow a shvarim truah. Instead, you blow a truah. It's a foreign substance. It doesn't belong. It's an interruption. You have to start all over again. Tkiyah. Then let's say you blew the shvarim, you blew the truah, but then instead of as you were starting the tkiyah, instead of blowing a nice long tkiyah, instead, you just blew something. It didn't come out right. You started and it stopped. Something like this. Then what happens? So since it's just a false start, says Eliezer Melamed, Pnei Halacha, based on other authorities, it's okay. It's not a foreign substance. Now, if you want to be very strict, you can make sure there's no foreign substance, nothing interrupting at all. There is an idea in the Gemara that even if you blew the right sounds different parts of the day, it still is kosher after the fact. But in the first place, try to have all the kosher sounds, no interruptions. But we can be lenient, even in the congregation, to if there's some false starts, that we can just ignore that and just go on. Then there's a question of exactly how you should blow it. Many people blow the tkiyah like this. There is a custom like that. It seems that that's the way some people do it. A lot of the old-timers did that. Spanish and Portuguese Jews do that. But many feel in the Litvish world, the YU world, they feel that it should be a pshuta. The Talmud, they give any instructions at all, and it's hard to give instructions in writing about a shofar. They say pshuta, it's a simple sound. So therefore, it should end the same way it starts, something like this. It just ends. It doesn't go up. Now, with the shavarim, it might be the opposite. Whereas many people blow shavarim as follows. Just 3 sounds that are about 2 seconds or less, but not really short, but about 2 seconds each. That's the usual shavarim. Some people have argued, Rabbi Dulitz used to talk about this, that you should be ta'utu, that it should sound like a groaning. The Gemara talks about ginuchi ganach, that the shavarim should sound like you're groaning, and then the teruah should sound like you're weeping. So in order to get the groaning sound, you have to krechz a little bit. So some people do the ta'utu, which sounds like this. And that would be their shavarim. Furthermore, for the truah, our sound was a weeping sound. However, some, instead of having 9 distinct sounds, trumitin, they have sort of a wave of sorts. And the Spanish and Portuguese do it like this, the Yemenite as well, and it goes as follows. It's an opinion, and some people, after the shofar blowing is over, they go home, like to try to blow according to other authorities, and that would be appropriate at that time, or if that was your custom. Those are the basic rules of the shofar. Those are the basic bloopers the person should try not to make. But when we're talking about the blowing of the tekiah, one more thing. Sometimes the tekiah sound just doesn't go over so well. It doesn't go straight. It gets a little bit curved. Let's see if we can mimic that. Sounds more like a dead cow than an actual tekiah, but one might argue that it's still kosher because it's basically a long sound. It wasn't a shavarim or a trua. It sounds a little bit like the Yemenite trua. But since it was basically a tekiah, just that the sound faltered a bit. Sometimes it gets a little higher, a little thinner. As long as it's not plain air like this, as if you're just blowing in a straw. As long as it's not that, and it call a kolos ksher, any sound is good. You may like it, you may prefer the other sound, but in any event, they're all good. Now the tekiah gedola, there's no specific requirement. It just show that that section has come to an end. Hopefully a prayer. Mashiach should come soon. But if it can be long, that's a good thing. It's a nice custom. And let's see if we can do that. We'll conclude with that, with prayers for Ketiva v'chatima tova, a good and happy and healthy new year for us, Lanu l'chol Yisrael. And indeed, Od Yishama, soon should be heard, the Shofar Gadol l'cherutenu, the great sound of the blast that will be a herald for the ingathering of the exiles.
This has been 10 Minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein. To learn more, visit asb.org.